Yesterday, I closed a $3,750 AI automation agency client that did not want to be sold a single thing. He was very, very stubborn. If you're trying to grow an AI automation agency and you're struggling to sign up new clients or have a hard time overcoming prospects telling you now is not the right time or that they don't have the money to invest, then this live call will show you exactly how to overcome that. This sale originated from a cold call that my team made to the prospect that I ended up then having a sales call with and closed. I'm gonna play the cold call first so you can see the exact script that I have my team use to book me 5 to 15 appointments per day for me along with my team. And then I will run the sales call, the recording of it, where I close that same exact prospect that came from the cold call that my team made. If you want some more resources on how to scale an AI automation agency, feel free to join my school group. It's free. It has loads of other resources that have allowed me to generate over $8 million with my AI automation agency. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you take a notepad out or have notes open on your computer because this video is really going to help you if you struggle to close the difficult prospects that most people do not have success with. Enjoy.
Hey, Aaron. This is Joshua with Gym Members Now, and I'm looking for the owner of the club. Is he in today?
Yeah, hold on, Josh.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's a bit choppy though.
Yeah, so just not weird. Yeah. So if you can hear me, yeah, this is I'm the one of the owners here of the business. You
All right.
said you're Gym Members Now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, our founders here at Gym Members Now own 127 stations, and the reason for my call is because we ran some test ads here, and we found a strong demand for your services if you leverage our new Chat GPT-4 plugin. So, a minute window tomorrow, or would Friday work better for you and another owner of the club?
Yeah, let me see my calendar.
Sure.
These are just kind of like a lead generation service?
Yep, that's one of the services that we have among the others. Yeah. So for Friday, I've got 2 times available on Friday. Just check your calendar if it's okay. That's 9:30 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Pacific on Friday, if any of those times works for you.
Let me see. Yeah, it would have to be
Or could be
probably
tomorrow.
about
There's
30
also
minutes, but I can do 11 o'clock on Friday.
11 o'clock on Friday. Yeah, it's going to be like a 15, 30-minute call because our founder is going to walk you through the entire thing. So I just need a couple information from you. I can schedule this call in for you. So
Are you at
There
the
you go.
club?
Yeah, I'm at the club right now.
Nice. How are things going?
Good. Yeah, things are good. I just got a couple things on my to-do list today, so just trying to organize it a bit. But yeah, everything's good. I'm a
Cool.
little low on carbs right now, though. So
Oh yeah.
I'm like fasting till like 1 o'clock. So
Oh,
yeah, so bear with me. How are you?
okay. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I actually I took a little too much pre-workout today, so I've been like feeling a little bit, not myself too. So we're in the
Yeah,
same boat.
I like to describe it as over caffeinated, underfed.
Yeah. That's how I am right now. But cool. Yeah, I know last time we spoke, we talked a little bit about, where the gym was at and what you're trying to do as far as grow it now that you're stepping back into really running it. And you really didn't have much of a marketing strategy outside of you spending some money on Google with a representative from Google and you're really looking to change the trajectory of the business and try something new, right?
Yeah. Essentially, getting more leads, getting more green members was the name of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we talked a little bit about how you do have a trainer that does some training, not a whole lot, right?
Yeah, no, he actually does a good amount of training. I just kind of bumped him up to about like 30 hours a week. So
Okay.
he's got a good amount of sessions on the docket. But as he continues to fill that space, then it leaves kind of more room for, well, at least less room for taking phone calls, appointments, signing people up. So in the midst of all that, yeah, so basically I have to handle a lot of that stuff too, which is a good problem to have, right?
Yeah.
Along with just kind of like standard gym maintenance, um, cleaning. I mean, we wear all hats here right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're really just looking to grow the membership right now, but then
Hmm.
potentially look at growing training as well once you have membership dialed.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's gonna cap out at so many hours, so I'm gonna look to hire another coach, in the near future.
Okay. And have you ever done any small group training?
Yeah, we currently do small group training. My wife runs that. We just have one session or one time slot going.
Per
Three
day?
set, yeah, per day in the evenings. So 3 sessions in the evenings. So yeah, she's running that right now.
Okay, is that like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday?
It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, got it. Okay, and would she be able to take on more classes if there was a demand or open up more classes?
Yeah, I think she would be willing to do at least one more time slot, just on top of everything else.
Okay. Are you familiar with some of the like benefits from of small group training when you compare it to one-on-one?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I have so our studio where we set it up, we only do small group training. We don't do team training just
Okay.
because the space only allows for about 7 to 8 people comfortably.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a huge benefit. I mean, you can tell the difference if someone's doing 25 a session, there's 5, 6 people in there as opposed to a 1 hour one-on-one session, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously the scalability of it, right? Where that trainer you have is going to cap out and you're going to have to get another one. Where you can have
Hmm.
a trainer in the morning, the evening, if you have a really jam-packed small group training program. And 7 to 8 is perfect. So for context, my business partner is a guy named Andy. He owns a bunch of Anytime Fitnesses, and he does
Hmm.
about $18,000 a month in small group training. He does no one-on-one, and he does that on average per location. So he has some that do way more, and he has some that do less than 10K. But on average, he does about $18,000 per location, just in small group
Nice.
training.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Yeah, and we're looking to expand there too. The challenge with us too is that there's a lot of small group training around us. We're
Okay.
talking about competition in our area. Um, so yeah, we have a lot of like boot camps, small group training, team training style gyms around us. So it just hasn't, like I mentioned on the last call, I want to grow that part of the business, but first and foremost, I'm just like focused on the memberships.
Okay. Perfect. And then when it comes to your process to get reviews and referrals, there's really not one right now. I know we discussed that a little bit, but you don't really have a process that leverages AI to reach out to current members to get reviews and then piggyback off that to get referrals or anything like that.
No, not as far as I mean, you got my gears turning a bit. So I kind of started thinking of how to systemize it a bit, but not using AI, no.
Yeah. Okay. And then when it comes to the database of leads that you guys have, we had talked about that you had like 4,200
Hmm.
and you guys don't have a remarketing strategy in place to drive those people back through the door.
Correct.
Okay. And then as far as marketing is concerned, it's not your area of expertise.
Um, I mean, I'm a sales guy. I
Yeah.
would say digital marketing specifically is not in my expertise. It's maybe in
Yeah.
my wheelhouse, but it's not like a skill that I've continued to develop. Um, I'm kind of definitely more into it now than I used to be,
Sure.
but just having a general sales background. So as far as
Yeah.
marketing goes, like that, that's the extent. Yeah.
Okay. And then when it comes to nurturing leads and getting them through the door, how long does it typically take you on average to reach out to someone if they come through the website? And is that you?
Yeah, I think I mentioned last time. It's usually about the maximum is 2 hours. The fastest usually like less than 10 minutes,
Okay.
like 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is
So
that
we
you
have.
predominantly?
Yeah, it usually is me. Sometimes it's my coach, but it's usually me. Um, Also my wife too, because she'll follow up through Club OS via text, or kind of like if the lead comes out of staffed hours, like in the morning or the evening, then she's on her phone all the time. So you know
Okay.
she's pretty good about that. So it's a little bit spread out, I guess. I'm usually the one that handles the calls, um, maybe face-to-face appointments, and any like missed calls and follow-ups. Especially now that Brandon's getting more clients too. Like I'm kind of more on the follow-ups.
Okay. Got it. And then when it comes to, what you're looking for, what exactly are you looking for when it comes to get help? Anything else outside of the scope that we discussed? Just ideally,
Um,
when it comes to getting marketing or consulting help.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious, that's a good question. I'm really looking to get more membership leads. So if Google's not working, or let's say Yelp's not working, um, or it's just not working as much as I'd like it to, based on the cost, then that's what I'll look to you guys for, or like a service or what have you. But I mean, I'll put the ball back in your court. Like, what kind of services do you offer that will outperform, let's say, a well-run Google ads, or a well-run Yelp ad? And I understand Yelp is hasn't performed too well with like other states, but it's pretty big in it. That's why I mention it. But yeah,
Yeah,
you tell me, do you work with other anytimes here in California? So yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So we work with a ton of anytimes in California. My business partner owns over 30 in California. In the Ventura, I'm not sure if that's near you, but
Okay.
yeah, powerhouse gyms, and they do good with training too. But then he owns in Wisconsin, he owns over 30 near Tampa, Florida. And then he has over 30 there. Then he has some in Minnesota, um, other state, just a couple. But we work with over 100 Anytime Fitness, independent of his Anytime Fitnesses that we work with as well. So there are Anytimes in with we just we just got one recently. It's San Jose, San Clemente.
And any times in Southern California?
Santa Rosa. I don't know if that's Southern California.
A little bit, a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a little bit more west, like northwest, but
yeah.
it's still SoCal.
The real question is, what type of market do you have? Like, how many people are within a 10-mile radius?
Probably at least 200,000.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
So we work with a
yeah.
ton of markets that are like that because that's really what it
Mhm.
comes down to. What's the median income within that 10-mile radius and what's the density? And that look like where you said you had a crunch that just opened up, right?
Mhm.
And I
Yeah, I
think,
mean, there's LA Fitness down the way that opened up like 3 years ago. Yeah, so like at least three big box gyms like in the last like 3 years. So
okay.
it's yeah, so hence the reason to get more members.
Yeah. And when it comes to the stuff you're doing with Google right now, the issue that you can have with Google is it's dependent on search traffic, right? If there's not
Sure.
search traffic, then there's no traffic. The benefit with disruptive marketing is you're just putting it in front of people that are reading the newspaper, right? Like when people are scrolling through their news feed on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, social media, you're putting an ad, an offer right in front of their face where people are always at. Where when people are typically looking up gym near me, there's only so many there that are doing that versus how many people within that 200,000, how many people in that 200,000 are on their phone scrolling through social media each day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the main thing, is that there's probably only a very small fraction of people looking for gym near me. But then when it comes to the overall goal for the year, where are you looking to take the gym? I'm not sure if we discussed that a little bit, but I know you're trying to grow the membership, but any specific targets?
Yeah, so stretch goal is I mean it's pretty out there. So be 720 green members. But I probably I'm probably gonna get to like around 650. But I'll be pretty happy with that. It's about maybe just a little bit more of 100 green members that we have right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's your expertise, Jacob? Do you come from a digital marketing background?
Yeah, so I've been doing this my whole life. Since I've ever done anything, I've been doing it for the past 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd
But
you get
yeah,
how'd you,
to kind of get into it, my area of expertise is digital marketing and really helping gym owners that don't have great control over their growth when it comes to growing their membership base, their training base, to get better control over it, leveraging AI, marketing, and consulting tactics. Make sense?
okay.
Okay. And it's the same systems we use across my partner's gyms, Andy's, that has 123 Anytime Fitnesses. But for you specifically, right now, what you're doing is trying to grow organically and through Google, and it's not really working at the rate that you'd like it to be. So what we would look at doing based off our conversation is really 6 things. Okay, so 6 things to help you go from where you're at right now, which is not the growth you want, to having a lot more leads for members that you can turn into customers. Okay. So the first thing we would want to look at doing is the reviews, because that's going to impact the traffic to your website, how you rank organically, and just getting more people to click through to the website. So right now, you don't really have a great process to get them. And so what we would do is we would connect our AI to your all's active member report and then any new signups. And we reach out to them and then ask them how their experience has been. And then we leverage an offer pretty much saying, hey, Jacob, would you like a chance to win a membership for free for the year? If you would, all you have to do is let us know how we've been doing. We'd really appreciate and value your feedback. So anyone that says they've had a positive experience, we then ask them for a review and we make it really easy for them to leave one. And then anyone that said they've had a neutral or negative experience, we just send, okay, leaves a review, we respond to that review on Google for you. And then we follow up with that person and say, hey, Eric, by the way, if you'd like to bring some friends and family in, we have a couple of free guest passes. All you have to do is send this link to them and they can claim a free guest pass. And everyone that you send over, we'll put your name in that raffle for a chance to win a membership for free for the year. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay, so what that allows us to do is generate referrals. It literally allows us to generate free leads without spending any money in advertising.
Right.
Where right now, you guys aren't capitalizing on that at all. And if you were to capitalize on it, it's all dependent on you guys to actually take the necessary steps to do that. So with this, it gets handled anything different. And then what we do is we teach you guys a script to call these people, to double tap them after they do leave a review and ask them for more referrals. And then we have a ton of recordings of Anytime Fitness is doing it in real time. And again, that script that you guys can follow to get even more. Okay. Do you think that that would help you out based off your current strategy?
I mean, it definitely adds to what I'm doing. And I'm assuming the scripts, maybe this is a question, but I'm assuming the scripts are tailored to whatever the goals are for that location. So say for memberships, they'll be tailored to more referrals, to target them into memberships. And then, it would be something a little bit different or a different type of funneling system for, personal training or small group training.
Yes.
Um,
So we actually just keep it to membership because we've tested it and that's what performs the best.
right.
Initially, it's just a free guest pass. So we've already done the work to figure out really what works the best in this situation. So that's what we do.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So that's the first thing. And the reason why that's so important is because if you're running ads and you don't have a process in place to get reviews consistently, it's going to negatively impact the return you get from the money you invest in marketing. Because when you run ads, people are going to look you up on Google. If they can't find you and they don't see that you have a lot of positive, frequent reviews, it's going to impact the return. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yep. So that's really important. The second thing we would look at doing is taking that database of leads you have, segmenting it based off men and women, and then plugging our AI into it, and then re-engaging them with an offer to get them to come through the door to have a tour, right? So we typically like to do a 14-day pass to get them through the door, and then the AI piques their interest, books the appointment, qualifies them, asks them what their goals are. Is it to lose weight, build muscle, tone up? And then confirms their appointment. And then all you guys have to do is call the day of that appointment to confirm it as well to get the best result.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And with that being said, you guys currently haven't really been doing anything with that audience. So we have a proven process that we'll be able to get about 2 to 4% of those people through the door. Back through the door. So if you have 4,000, we could probably get between 80 to 100 people booked appointments, and then the show rate on those booked appointments can vary if you guys are calling to confirm. But there's a ton of opportunity within that database to just drive people back through the door because we know exactly how to really capitalize on that and squeeze the juice.
Right.
Okay. And again, the reason why this is very important is because there's a ton of opportunity in there without you having to spend money on ads. So what you don't want to do is go into spending money on marketing, kind of like you are right now, or if you were looking at working with another company. A lot of them, what they'll do is say, let's just start running ads. But the reality is you have a ton of opportunity with your members in reviews and referrals, and then the database of leads that you're not even capitalizing on.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where we look to start. That's kind of like the first phase. And then from there, what we look at doing is taking the money we collect from those re-engaging campaigns and then invest it into marketing to turn it into a system, to just drive more people in with that same offer. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
makes
what, yep, that's what we look at doing with the third. And then the fourth thing that we do is we follow up with the leads so that you don't have to. So the AI is nurturing all the leads that come through the ads, that come through referral, that come through the re-engagement campaign, so that it's as hands off for you guys as possible, so that we're capitalizing on every single person right away. All you guys have to do, like I said, call and confirm the day of, and then follow up with these people that leave reviews to try and get more referrals. That's to get the best result possible, but that's it, right? If a lead comes in at 9 o'clock at night and you're having dinner with your family, you don't have to follow up with them. We're on top of it. We're booking them. The lead comes in at 5 a.m. and you're asleep. We're following up with them. We're all over it. And because of that, we get a significantly higher show rate and you get much more opportunities through the door than you would otherwise. And it's less work for you and your team.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's great. That makes sense. Kind of want to get back to that, but it's okay. Go
What?
through. I said I kind of want to get back to that, but it's all right.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, what I mean is that, yeah, right now I feel like I'm having to work like 10, 12 hours a day, which is good. I don't mind it. I love working, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice to not have to worry about it after like 8 or 9 p.m. and then beforehand, yeah.
Is
But
that how it kind of is right now? A lot of times leads come in later in the day when people get off work.
yeah, no, they do. They kind of do, but yeah, it's been. I mean, it's been. It kind of is what it is. Like, you
Yeah.
know, we've had the gym for a little while. Last bit of a slump because of Crunch and then like LA Fitness, so we lost a lot of memberships. But it's not like we've been doing bad. It's just it's a lot of man hours, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I don't mind. Like this year, like I'm looking to dedicate all those hours that I need dedicate to get to where I want to get to. So yeah, no, I mean these are good tools. Yeah, these are good tools. I'm just kind of thinking about the cost versus the benefit of it, because at the same time, like I said, I don't mind putting in the time and effort that it takes to do it, because it's all I'm doing right now. So, you know, mm, I'm just thinking like, how much is it going to cost to do all this, right, Jacob?
Yeah.
So, is it worth taking the extra $1,500 plus to tap into the memberships that I currently have, growing reviews, getting a system up and going for new leads and referrals, right? I mean, it's all good, but is it going to be worth the cost? I don't know. I feel like I can get a slower progress or a slower burn myself, but like I said, I don't mind putting in that time to get those maybe 2 or 3 systems up and running.
Yeah.
So you tell
what's
me.
the cost? Well, what's the cost of you doing it wrong though? Because you don't know how to do it. You're gonna have to trial and error it. You're gonna have to figure it out. It's gonna take time away from other things. And what if you do it wrong and you mess up those leads, those database of leads with the wrong kind of messaging, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't. It's not that I would do it wrong. I would do it less optimized. But I mean, I've been at it for a few years. Like it's not that I'm gonna be incorrectly following up with people, if that makes sense. Or or pursuing the leads under like I wouldn't say a customized system, but it's just a little bit of trial and error. But yeah, it would just be a learning curve, really, right? So it would take a little bit longer, but the cost makes, I don't know, it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you're already working, like you said, 10 to 12 hours a day right now, the question would be, are you going to have time to actually do it well, to figure it out? And is that something that you want to continue to be doing? Be put in a position where you're just being kind of grinded down? Or do you want to be in a
No.
position where you can have a team to kind of just do the stuff that you're really not sure on and put you in a position to do what you're great at, which is selling? Because that's exactly what this will do, is we're going to be able to drive people through without you having to do anything. You're not going to have to call, text, or email anyone. You're just going to have to
Yeah.
do what you've done a really good job at, what it sounds like you do best at, which is converting the people, talking with them about why you're the right fit.
For sure. Okay, so let's keep moving forward a little bit. What are we looking at as far as like cost for a program like this, specifically for the 3-4 things that you mentioned? And then how does it incorporate into the systems that we already have in place, which like ClubOS being the biggest system, right?
Yeah.
And of course current organic traffic that's already rolling through our website. Like how does your system integrate with that?
Great question. So before I go into that, the fifth and final thing that we do before we start any of this stuff is we onboard you as a client, and I'd put you with Chad. He's owned Anytime Fitnesses, and what he would do is just get clear on what your process looks like now to actually sell people and what
Right.
things look like right now, and then help you optimize those before we start bringing people through. So that's
Okay.
also part of what we do. So it's not like we're going to just cross our fingers, drive people through the door and hope that you can do well. We're going to show you the best processes to convert the people we're bringing in to make sure that you have the highest odds of success. And then once we do get people coming in, we're going to work with you to refine that and optimize it.
Sure, that makes sense.
So it's very much a partnership. It's not a vendor type of relationship. When it comes to growing your business and developing a marketing strategy, as I'm sure you know, there's a lot of puzzle pieces you need to fit together really perfectly. And that's what we do as a company, to just leave you in a position to just sell, but while we're also holding your hand to make sure you know exactly how to sell and retain these people at the highest level to get the most out of the marketing and the money you spend.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's how that works. But just in terms of the process, I know you're curious on the cost. Just in terms of the process and finances aside, how do you feel?
How do I feel? Um, I mean, I'll be honest. I feel like I can kind of like, and it'll be like a couple times I said this, but yeah, like I don't mind putting in the time that I'm putting in right now.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy the work, and I'm more dialed in this year than ever before. So it will take me a little bit more time to do this on my own, but I don't mind saving the extra money. But if you're telling me it's like less than what I'm thinking, then in my mind, it's more approachable and acceptable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I can put, yes, I don't have a review system in place or a way to systemize it, but I can put it in, and it's not going to take a lot of time on our end, especially when I have another coach, right? Um, and we have a lead, we have a member's life cycle in place already. I have ClubOS running constantly, so they reach out first, I reach out afterwards. I'm on top of the calls. I got my fingers in everything right now, right? So can I peel away an extra 5 to 10 hours out of the week to start to kind of develop and grow these systems, like let's say a review system, tap into our current membership base for um, to gain referrals, doing lead boxes and business to business, and then make sure the biggest thing would be to optimize a referral system, because that essentially generates more leads. Like I can probably, guesstimate around like 700 extra leads just from referrals, if not more. So I think how I feel is like I can probably do it myself, dude. Will it take me longer? Will it, cost me? It'll cost me less, but it'll cost me more in time, but less in money. But
What's more
then
valuable?
yeah, I mean, so time is obviously more valuable, but at this point right now, I have more time than I do money, right?
Sure.
So I love the concept, I love the idea, and then that's kind of what I was getting to earlier is like I want to get back there, you
Yeah.
know. I want to get back to there, because last year I was peeled away from the office like, half the year. I was here like 6 months out of the year. I was, doing other stuff throughout the year too. And then we had a little bit more time to ourselves too. But this year, things just kind of shifted towards the end of the year, especially with some medical things that we're dealing with, health issues and things like that, at the last quarter of last year. So I just kind of had to pivot, right?
Yeah.
So I want to get back there. I hear you. I want to optimize things as much as I can. I want to just get out of the door like at 5, 6 o'clock, not have to worry about the gym so much, right? But right now mentally, I'm like, I'm not there yet. But I love the fact that you guys work as a partnership. I'm not looking to just get a vendor, right? Or pay somebody to do something and I don't know what's going on, right? Or at least it's hands off. I much more rather work with somebody that understands like my goals, my needs, my personality, my temperament, and work in a partnership, right? So I much rather have that, dude. But at the same time, this is something more that maybe I'm thinking will work better like 90 to 120 days from now, at least for me, right? So that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm feeling.
Okay. That helps a lot. The only thing I'll say to that is if I understand you feeling confident in doing some of those other things on your own, but when it comes to the marketing, have you ever run a Facebook ad before?
Yeah, yeah, we used to run Facebook ads before COVID, but then I just kind of focused on Yelp. Yelp worked for us for a little bit, and then we did some Instagram stuff too. Instagram was pretty decent for a little bit too.
Okay. But it's been like since COVID, like 5 years?
No, it's been like, I mean, we did it in 2023, really.
Okay.
Like last year we tapered down quite a bit, and it was just really 2023, like 2022,
Okay.
2023. Yeah.
Well, the main thing when it comes to where's the benefit of you doing it versus a company like me doing it is we just have the data on what works and what doesn't, because we're spending
Sure.
hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in markets like yours,
Yeah.
right? Where you only have your budget and you're running it inconsistently on and off because you're not even sure if it works. It works. We know exactly how to make it work,
Sure.
right? You just don't have that data. You're just not really sure because you haven't optimized the whole system,
Right. That makes sense.
right? So that's what you're really paying for. And then you're paying for the implementation, the coaching and guidance to make sure that you have the processes in place to have that system set up, right?
Sure.
So that if you want, if you feel comfortable in your ability to run ads after you have the processes and system set up, you could take it and run with it on your own. Or if you really value your time and kind of getting back to where you're looking at, you know, having a company that are experts at it do it for you, where you can focus on what you're an expert at.
Sure. Sure. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how would I don't think you answered my other question, was how do you guys implement with like current systems that are already in place, like ClubOS? I mean, we essentially have to use it as anytime, right? You know that.
Yep.
And then current website, like how does the AI kind of integrate into that?
Yeah. So what we have is we have a separate system that we use that you get access to, where we connect your calendar to it, so that anything that goes on your ClubOS calendar, and then we have your hours of availability, and we do it through there. But I can kind of show you an example of what that looks
Yeah,
like.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so this is an example of an Anytime Fitness that we work with in Brentwood, PA. And this is their calendar so far for the week of appointments that we booked for them. And then you can just shuffle through. You know, this was last week, the week before. Okay, so we had gotten started right there on that week. And you can see
Hmm.
this is just their calendar showing the appointments. First week of February, just kind of going through it. Then here's an example of another one we just recently got started. You can see here. And then this is this week. This is Anytime Fitness in San Antonio, Texas. But basically, you'll be able to see this calendar, and then you'll be able to see all the conversations with all the leads in real time that we're having, that the AI is actually nurturing to get them through.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you'll be able to see all of that in real time, and we can connect this so that your website leads get followed up with immediately, and then obviously all the other areas, if people are coming from ads, the re-engagement campaigns, somebody submits the referral form, we're following up with them.
Gotcha. And does this attach to your Google business page as well, or?
Yeah. So like this is their reviews right
Mhm.
here, right? So you can see we got started with them like 3 weeks ago. So this is where we got started, right? You can see before that, this is kind of what things look like. And now
Yeah,
we're
before
generating
that.
them. Obviously a lot of reviews, a lot of referral opportunities. And then, right, if we go to their calendar, this isn't running any ads. This is all the re-engagement campaign.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
we haven't.
after the initial like prospecting for their current pool of members and old leads, and then on top of the reviews, like you said, I think it was the fourth section where um after you essentially get more members on board, more revenue to the gym, how does that shift over to just kind of the marketing side of things, right? Because you're gonna run out of the old stuff. How does it shift over?
Yeah. So what we really try to do is really in that first month after we've got you set up and onboarded, we get the reviews and referrals going right away. That's why in this example, you can see that we got started 3 weeks ago, but on the calendar, we didn't actually start launching the reactivation campaigns until like last week, because we were training them up on processes. Because you can see here, right? There was nothing here, but we were getting them reviews at this point in time. So we were
Mhm.
onboarding them and training them up on how to actually convert and be as successful as possible once we started bringing people in like this. And this is actually a
Gotcha.
training specific offer where they've already signed up 5 small group training clients and collected over $3,000 down from these people. Because that's what we train them up on, specific to small group training, not membership. But that's just this specific offer, which is a little bit different.
Right.
But that's what we do. And then after we get that done, we try to re-engage all the leads within the first 4 to 6 weeks.
Gotcha.
Right? Because like you said, it's not like you can keep just hitting them with the same offer. It's not going to work. So
Right.
that's why, again, if we look at the marketing, that's really where you're going to get the value out of this is you want a consistent system in place that's going to work. If it's just you trying to figure it out, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. I'm just one guy too, at the end of the day.
Right.
I see you got a Meta Ads Manager up there. Do you do a lot of, do you find in your markets, especially in maybe like California, do you find success with Facebook or are you finding more success with Instagram?
Yeah, we have success with Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay.
So we run all three, and then we allocate the budget where we need to.
Right. As far as the data that you get from
Exactly.
from those three places. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong at all. Like you're right. I mean, you guys have the data, you have the systems in place. Time is money, so it all tracks.
Okay. Cool. Well, this is what it would look like if you're ready to get started. First thing we want to do is process payment, sign the agreement, and then book an onboarding call where you would hop on with Chad. And prior to that onboarding call, we have you fill out what we call a fitness business assessment, where we just get some information from you on the gym prior to starting. That way you guys can hit the ground running right away. So that we basically get the download on where your gym's health is at right now. Right. And then from there, Chad will outline the next steps to start working with you to get you set up for success. We'll start launching the reviews and referrals campaign and then get you put in a position to run the re-engagement campaign, which can typically take about 2 to 4 weeks before we actually launch that. Because we just want to make sure that you're set up for success. We don't want to be driving people through the door and then, you go, hey, I didn't close any of these people. We want to make sure that we put you in a position to close. Even though you're already confident in your ability to do so, we just want to make sure that we're on the same page so that we can help you depending on what happens. Okay?
Yeah, no, I get it.
The way the program works, it's a 4-month program. Okay. And that's what it is. The investment to get this set up where you don't have to figure it out on your own and you get a lot of your time back is $1,500. And then it's $750 per month after the initial month.
Okay. So essentially an agreement for 4 months, $1,500 down payment with, you said 700?
$750.
$750 per month after that, right?
After the re-engagement campaign. Yeah, you can kind of think of the re-engagement campaign and the onboarding as the first 4 to 6 weeks. Then once we start the ads, that second month starts.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, seems reasonable. Okay. Would you be willing, Jacob, to cut that $1,500 in half and just make it $750 for 5 payments of $750?
So just because based off finances right now, you'd be able to do that. 1,500 is not really in your budget.
Yeah, I mean, I'd feel more comfortable. Yeah, under $1,000, like $750, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, would you be ready to get going today?
No. No, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it today. But you said the re-engagement starts how long after the initial payment?
So it can typically take 2 to 4 weeks. It could be 2 weeks if you're, really moving quick. 4 weeks depending on, your schedule.
Yeah, no, I got you. Okay. So essentially the first payment and then you're going 4 weeks from there. then it's essentially onboarding, and then we're off to the races, right? With all the systems, scripts in place, everything integrated into ClubOS, Google, what have you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. Okay. So I want to be honest with you, Jacob. I do want to move forward with it, but I don't want to do it yet. And reason is for budget, and another reason is actually that's kind of the main reason.
Okay.
But let me just kind of work with you on this. My club enhancement. So my club enhancement hits April 1st and October 1st.
Okay.
So I have it biannually. Okay. And it's a nice chunk of change that I've been kind of like waiting for. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add, one or two things to the club, just so the members know that they're getting something for it.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to give me that same offer, 30 days from today, let's say?
Yeah, I'll give you a better offer than that. So here's
Okay.
the deal, right? Summer is coming up. This is something that you want to get going on sooner than later, and we're going to have to onboard you as a customer. So,
Sure.
right, it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks before we can actually start bringing people back through your door. So it's going to take some time. And if that means we need to work with you a little bit longer to really make sure it's a home run right away, then maybe that's what we need to do, right? Especially depending on your budget. So this is what I would recommend doing to get you the best result, since this is something you want to do, but also considering your budget and obviously the fact that you've got that money coming in about a month. So what I could do is we could get you into the program now. I could collect $100 and then we could collect the remaining 1,400 or 650, right? And then collect the 750 each month after that. And we could collect that additional 650 after you do that enhancement fee. So that we can actually start working with you, get the reviews going, the referrals going, and actually start helping you.
Yeah, that sounds good. That is a better offer. Okay. Okay, so 100. So let me just recap with you. So $100 today, 650, after I get the club enhancement, and then 4 payments of 750 after that.
Yep.
Right. But we can get going on onboarding, training, just kind of getting all these processes going.
Exactly.
So what essentially, and just so you know, what I want to do is, I've already paused my Google ads because we've been having a conversation, and I also wanted to optimize it a little bit better, because Performance Max is just kind of, it's pros and cons, but I kind of want to use those funds that I was using there for this, right?
Sure.
So it's another 200. In my mind, it makes sense. It's another like 250, $300, whatever. But it makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, man, let's do it. So here's the other thing is, and I'm sure I'll talk to Chad with this. So my wife is the second person on this. I'm assuming she can be part of the meeting when I meet with Chad.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. So to clarify, what we want to do with that is we want you and her, just the owners, but not the team for that onboarding call. And then from there, if we need to get your trainer on to help him out as well, we can. But that initial call is just for the owners.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna confirm. I mean, we can do it for sure, but that's the reason why I asked about how it's integrated into the system, is because she does manage a lot of the ClubOS stuff right now, and then a lot of the systems and procedures that we have in place currently. Right.
Okay.
So I'm just the sales guy. She's the back end person, so to speak.
Yeah, there's not going to be much of a change from what you guys do with ClubOS. It's going to stay the same. The only thing that will change is when we get leads coming in, we'll follow up with them in our system right away, and we can shut the ClubOS automation off on that. And then we show you guys exactly how to use this so that it's very seamless.
Okay, for sure. Sounds like a plan then.
Okay. Well, next step is just getting and booking the onboarding call. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. And then the email I have to send the agreement to should have that we sent over. Okay.
Yeah, should be.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Uh, okay. How do you normally take payment?
Just over Zoom right here. We do Visa, MasterCard, Discovery, American Express.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you
Okay. That went
it's
through. So all we need to do from here is just schedule that onboarding call for you and Chad to hop on so that we can go ahead and finish up from here. Do you have your availability open?
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean I can do tomorrow, Friday.
what does your Monday look like? Chad's pretty booked up tomorrow and Friday, but he's wide open Monday.
Okay. Is he open any other day? Like, is it just Monday through Friday?
No. He's open Tuesday. He's open. He's just pretty booked up Tuesday and Friday, or Thursday and Friday this week.
Right, but I'm saying it's just Monday through Friday calls.
No. He can do Monday next week. He could do Tuesday. He
No,
has
I
some
mean
times
like
on Wednesday. Okay,
12 o'clock
your
PST. Yeah, PST, sorry.
time. Okay.
So after this we both gotta eat something. Yeah, looks good. 12 to 1 o'clock.
Okay.
On
Perfect.
the 10th. On the 10th, yeah.
Yep. Yep. So you'll be receiving that, and then obviously you will be working with Chad moving forward. I'm looking forward to working with you, man. You've got my contact, so if you need anything, if you've got any feedback, you know where to reach me. We'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Am I just gonna be working with Chad like the next onboarding process, basically? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, thanks again, Jacob. I look forward to getting this going. I think it's gonna pay for itself after like a month or two, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to work really, really well. It's a partnership though, right? So we got to work together to get the result. One thing to just keep in mind, right? When it comes to anything new, I know you've run ads in the past and you've done some stuff like this, but this is a little bit different. Just recognize and remember that you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to create some new habits, some new ways of doing things. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable kind of coming around that learning curve, and as
Yeah.
long as you commit to that, it's going to be great.
Yeah, no, I'm all about getting out of the comfort zone, so that sounds good.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go get something to eat. I'm looking forward to working with you, and let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, for sure. All right, take care. Have a good rest of your day.